Hello and welcome to the Philosophical podcast. My name is Jordan and today I'm joined by the whole crew of Emon, Lou and Luca.
Hello.
Hello.
And today we will be talking about our anime of this year. And Merry Christmas, because I'm most likely uploading this on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. But anyway, speaking of which, so we will be going over what anime we've watched on this channel this year, and in general what we've watched this year. So just a quick roundup of some of the anime we've watched. We've watched God of High School, Tower of God, Decadence, Noblesse, Burn the Witch, Rent a Girlfriend, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Haikyuu. To be on top of that is animes like My Hero and stuff that we've watched in the background, but a lot of those that we've mentioned we've reacted to and watched on this channel. So if you are interested in any of that, then please check out our reviews of those series on the channel. But yes, moving on. Let's talk about, I suppose, the first anime we've done on this channel, and the first one we've done together was like God of High School. So like, what was everyone's thoughts on that show? I thought it was a pretty decent show. I know that's a controversial opinion now.
So there's two ways I put this. Animation-wise, very good.
Yep, fights were sick, I think. Like
plot-wise, it was average, but
yeah,
I understand why they did it like that because it was targeted as an advertisement.
In the end, yeah. I think if they had been more clear with that from the beginning to fans of it beforehand. For us, it didn't matter too much. We hadn't read the webtoon before. This was our first kind of thing going in.
But
so to us, it was
even then, I would have preferred like. Even if it was just still 13 episodes, I would have preferred 13 episodes of like the original content, you know.
Just like a slower, even if it was like slower pacing kind of thing and things like that.
Even if it was slower pacing, I might have preferred. It might have done a better job as an advertisement.
I get where you're coming from.
But at the same time, you know, as a pure, you know, adrenaline rush, it was great.
It was good, a few good fights. But the thing is, the fights were so good even early on that, as you say, even if they had the slower pacing, those fights still would have carried that series. You'd think, like
yeah, exactly.
So, no, it is a shame. Because as people said, even like as an anime onlys, I think we started getting lost about halfway through. You know.
But funny enough, that wasn't the worst anime in terms of getting lost for us. But that come up later on.
No, yeah. We'll get to that. That was probably. Wait, are you talking about another webtoon series that potentially come out?
No. Well,
because
about Decadence.
Like, of course, that was something else.
The beginning was the hardest thing to
digest, without doubt.
Yeah,
right, we'll move on to that in a bit.
To be fair, the other webtoon, I understand what you mean by that. As well.
I'm gonna say like most of the webtoons, other than maybe Noblesse, because we haven't really watched all of that yet, kind of thing.
Yeah, we only watched like 4
episodes. Yeah, so. And that kind of had a slow start, so maybe this is kind of highly hypocritical that we're criticising it for being too quick. But no, the God of High School, and I think it's fair to say Tower of God suffered from that same thing, where like it was like when we found out some of the cut content in terms of like story-wise, and we were like, oh shit, okay, we were meant to know some of this stuff, you know, beforehand. We kind of stuck with it with God of High School because I think the characters were still really wholesome and great. Like, you know, everyone loved the trio and stuff.
Three girls, sexy voice as well. Carried it pretty hard.
Yeah, A1. Jago was sick, to be fair.
Q was very good.
Q was really cool, wasn't he? That's
what I mean. Q was dope as well.
Yeah,
a lot of characters you actually really liked. You know.
Yeah, this is it. The designs were A1. Like, and I know that's not down to the anime. That's also down to obviously the original creator. So like that kind of carried the series, I guess. But it was a shame it wasn't a better adaptation, and it doesn't look like we're going to be getting a series 2, based on reception and on the fact of like how they advertised it after.
Yeah, at the end of the thing, they basically showed a preview of the next arc. It said follow it on the webtoon.
Yeah, so it was kind of like, obviously Crunchyroll with their new partnership with Webtoon was kind of like an advertisement. So again though, a fun series. I rated it, I think at the time, like 7. I now rate it like a 6 or 6.5 out of 10, I'd say, kind of thing for that series. Like, I think I would go back and watch certain bits for fun, but as a series I don't think it really held up to some of the others that we've had.
I think reflected back 6.5 probably.
Yeah, I think so.
I agree. I think that's fair enough.
Yeah. As I said, the characters in that, but story-wise, it just killed it too much.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of the cut content from what was meant to be the first series,
Yeah.
And oh my god, like it
Is it
seems
mad?
like a beast of a. It seems like a beast of a series. Like
Really?
the amount they cut. Yeah.
Oh, damn. I need to start committing time to webtoons. Because some of it, like I said, they did work in ways of like got me interested in these series, right? One of those other series being Tower of God. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. Actually, now that I look back, I actually enjoyed it more than God of High School. But the same thing with you, look what you just said. I read about some of the content from that series, and I was like, oh wow. So yeah, there was like a lot of holes.
You know, one thing Tower of God does really well is bring controversy.
Controversy, yeah, that's true.
You know, there's only one character that's important as Rahel or Rachel, how you want to translate it.
Mm-hmm.
She's the ultimate cuck, as we
Yeah.
know, we established, and she does not deserve happiness. That's
No, she does not deserve that. That is very true. That is very true. I want to know because, right, we all had this kind of common conception after that we finished that series was we all either thought he was really average or actively, I'm not naming names, actively disliked Bam, right?
I am that person. That is me.
Luca. But I've heard that he becomes such a good character. Like
Bam was an interesting one because he was even mid. He was very low for me for a while.
yeah,
and
it was
then,
so average. Like
and then he got somewhat of a development, and then he went back to being a simp. And then it went downhill.
Be careful.
Yeah, that was my problem with him.
I know,
like,
sorry, I can't use the word
I
simp.
was-
because
You get banned on Twitch.
you can do. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was
Sorry,
willing
Luca.
to forgive, the shakes at the start, with him.
Yeah.
But he just, there was no growth at all.
Apparently that does happen, but it's post that series, which is annoying. But I agree with what you're saying though, in terms of what you said before about how like, so as an example, right, the way he kind of like has naturally like people get attached to him and like like him was kind of like I don't know, like say like Luffy, right, for One Piece, right. But with Luffy, you get it, right, like you can see why. Whereas Bam, it's like I don't understand how he's attracting this many different people with different personalities that still like him. I didn't get it. Like
for me, like
facts.
it's funny though because my favorite character was Rack because I'm a Rack.
Rack was brilliant. Yeah, Rack was great.
Character. Him and Kunaguero,
Kunaguero was sick.
Kun was cool, yeah.
Like they're the two characters that carried it for me.
Yeah. I'm actually so gutted that potentially. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to get season 2 because I was actually really invested in them characters.
Yeah, I think because the creator he felt ill, so it was like one of those ones like God of High School where they stopped, like they said there wasn't going to be another
series, but it's looking unlikely. Yeah, I've heard mixed things about that guy. Apparently he's come back, he's potentially doing it, but it's like a slower pace and stuff. But yeah, like,
by the time it depends on Crunchyroll as well if they decide to license it again
to do another one. Yeah. Fingers crossed, but. Yeah, again, I actually didn't mind that. I would prefer to see another series of that person in the God of High School. But that's just me,
I say, like, in terms of, it's not the best plot, but it still did better than God of High School in terms of plot for me.
For me, yeah, definitely. I was more invested.
Way too much for my liking.
Yeah.
The God of High School is better in terms of the fights.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way.
One other, just like this is a complete personal opinion, but I also preferred just the general vibe of the characters and character designs in God of High School.
I think character designs, you're right. Characters not so much for me.
The trio's relationship was like the most.
The trio was great. I do agree. But characters like I'm going to cause controversy here. But like characters, for example, but that's also because we didn't get as much development in them. But like the judges or the whatever they were, like Q and stuff, right?
Yeah.
To me, they looked cool. Yeah, executives. I liked them. I thought they were very cool, but that was it. They were very shallow.
You didn't know nothing about them.
Yeah, this is it. This is what I'm saying.
No depth to them.
Yeah.
It was all design and how they fought.
And whereas like Tower of God, I felt like I had more depth to them characters. Like I was invested in the storyline with the lady that quit like halfway through and the Tanaka looking guy. I want to see what happens there. But
the guy who acts like he knows what he's doing.
yeah. I was like, I really like them characters.
Yeah, you saw a relationship between them two. Like you saw something there. Like,
something there. I want to know what.
Further ahead,
Yeah, like now that Bam's all the way at the bottom, does she come in and help him? Like, is she in the new batch that's going to come through? There's so much stuff that would rather get answers for, basically.
Going back to like the executives, like even like they make Q like the comic relief character at the same time.
But
he's a badass, but he gets deducted pay all the time.
That was funny.
To the point where
that was good.
Khan had to pay for his meals, which made him look really desperate for training. That's an example where like I would have loved to see the training montage between them.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, we went to the whole
Cherokee as well was really cool. The Jester.
That was sick. Yeah, I agree. That's what I mean. Design-wise, I completely agree. Like, I think characters, it's iffy, but I can see where you're coming from definitely because that trio did leave a lasting impression. But yeah, for Tower of God, I think I'd rate it, like, as I said, a bit higher, but not high. I'd still rate it like a 7, 7.5 for me, maybe 7. I think 7.5 is even too high. I think 7 for me. That series was this year. But that's just me. I think I enjoyed it more than most.
I'm stuck between 6 or 6.5. For me,
about the same as God of High School.
I'm going to give it a 6. I prefer God of High School.
Oh yeah,
I did prefer God of High School, but it did have. It had. Tower of God had, I guess, better plot. It made more sense.
This is it. Like I said, I more look forward to a Tower of God sequel to a God of High School. That's me personally.
To be fair, I want. Because watching it back, like Tower of God was the first one that came out, and then God of High School and everything rolled on.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, in terms of enjoyment over the 13 episodes,
it wasn't for everyone without a doubt.
You definitely felt more hype towards God of High School.
Yeah, I feel like it's a weird one for me, man, because I feel like I would rewatch God of High School more in terms of like the fights. But Tower of God,
I would probably still watch a season 2.
I would rather go back and read the webtoon now of Tower of God than I would rather read God of High School.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
But again, that might be biased from my timeline on Twitter because people talk about it all the time. But no, anyway. Okay, we also, as I said before, we watched a bit of Noblesse, but we kind of fell off it. We might pick it up again, but I feel like it's unfair for us to rate it because we aren't up to date with it, basically. But I wanted to put it out there. I thought it was decent, but it was a bit sluggish.
It had like a few interesting things. Like, I actually like the whole thing with Frank. Like, you know what? The OVA was good.
The OVA was great. Yeah.
That was actually a good way because obviously you have to technically watch the OVA before you watch the series.
Yeah.
Which we made that mistake.
I watched it first.
Yeah. Yeah, Lou did, but the people that actually reacted to it did not. So, because I didn't realise the OVA came first.
Like, you know, seeing that shit with like Frankenstein, all that, it's like, okay, you know what? I can see where it's coming from. You know, like people do say out of the 3 is the oldest one, but like it's one of the better ones.
Yeah, I've heard that. But then it's also the one I heard the least about on the timeline. Like afterwards, I've heard no one speak about the anime on the timeline.
Do you know why? Especially like I said with Tower of God, that had controversy. That's why that had so much.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't seen anyone say it's bad or good so far.
No, like it's a weird one, but like, I guess if you're a fan of the series, fair enough. You know, like we can't give enough of a judgment for it because we've only barely watched it. So
I agree. Yeah, some of the characters and stuff were cool, but so far can't rate it. So let's move on to the other series we watched earlier on this year. Decadence, a very unique series. As you say, the biggest mindfuck in the first 2 episodes.
Like first couple episodes, this was the most confusing series you'll ever watch. Because they don't explain zilch.
Yeah. But you'll work it out as the series goes on, kind of thing.
The beginning, we treated it's gonna be like Attack on Titan. They're inside the Decadence, and the outside world's full of monsters and all that.
Yeah. You think it's as you say, you think it's kind of going to be like that apocalyptic Attack on Titan style, but it changes.
It's a weird one. They're in and in the second episode you see these avatars, but they're not actually avatars. That's what they look like.
They were the real people. They weren't like in a game. Yeah, they were the real people.
You could call the people. You call them different species or whatever. Like,
so was it like cyborgs in the end? Wasn't it like
they were crazy in the end? But some of the humans did turn into that. But then, them. The actual but like you had NPCs, but the NPCs were technically humans.
They were actually humans. They were like, it was crazy, man. When I think about that series, that was mad.
Because you had 2 worlds converge with each other, it's Jamie's world, so the avatars can't die. Yeah, like the actual NPCs can die.
Yeah,
so it's a weird one, but like they made it work. It's a very good wholesome. I like the relationship between Bossman and Natsume.
And they were brilliant. Natsume might actually be like most wholesome character of the year. I can't even lie.
Natsume was definitely the most wholesome one this year.
Yeah, she was brilliant.
Rip Pipe.
Pipe. What a guy.
Pipe. This is a really good one. to have. You even had like the key pipe at the end. But that was kind of the only thing I was kind of disappointed about. Like, you didn't see anything else.
No, yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah,
like because he could have been an anomaly.
Yeah, this is it. Like, I definitely thought, because we were talking about on the reactions, like how we reviewed it. We were like, "Oh, he's coming back." Like you know, we said how like it could be potentially different to the others because he wasn't technically, he was technically like glitching all this, and it was like, nah, he was gone. we had to accept that.
Like, you were like the whole thing with like Kaburagi, like the final moments. Like, I'm not gonna say too much about it, but like, it was a very heroic moment, and then and then the ending, like, made it wholesome again. Like, up again.
It did make me want more, as you say, because you've ended up getting really attached to them two characters, and like some of the other characters. Wish we saw more of Kurenai. Wish we saw more of Kurenai. She was sick.
Kurenai was another disappointment in terms of we didn't get to see enough of her.
No, 100%.
I just like how she liked Kabu though. That was just like
that was really cute. That was really cute.
You know another character I really rated was Minato. He was
clutch man
for a lot of the things. Like, I think people underestimate like
Cabaret couldn't have done what he done without him. Like,
exactly, half the shit. Like, the thing is, Minato was risking his job at the same time. Like, you know, it's a very that whole prison thing. Like, that was so like you felt that one because obviously Minato could only go so far. And then, of course, because obviously Cabaret was like he was to go against the system. The whole admin, like the whole
after Minato had looked after this man for so long, and then he's like, "Yeah, I want to fight everyone." And it was like, my guy.
What's his name again? The one that he's, you know how we called it, final explosion.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, I remember his name now.
Juice.
He made the poop juice, didn't he? I can't remember now. But I know what you mean.
Like, it's like you want to give him pity, but at the same time, he's just so retarded.
He's so gullible, man. He was so stupidly gullible. Felt for him there, but at the same time, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, there's like, at least he went out with a bang, kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
at least he kind of made up for it, but it was still like, God damn it, man, why are you so dumb?
Yeah, my god was so gullible with that shit.
What was it? No, okay. So that series I enjoyed a lot. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just thinking in my head what I'd rate it out of 10, and I'm stuck, right? I feel like it's like, I think it's higher than a 7.5, but I don't think it's higher than. Although I don't think it's an 8, like what I rate out of 10 series. It would be like honestly, one of them 7.8s or something. Like,
I was gonna give it a 7.5.
I think that's fair. Like, I think that's a fair series, a fair one.
It's better than the webtoons.
Definitely,
overall for me.
Definitely.
I felt more attached to it. But again,
I would recommend it. Like, it's a good series. I think, like, it's a short series.
Gosh, to be fair, this series didn't even have a manga, so it's anime only.
That's what I mean. As an anime only series, it was really fun to like keep up with it.
Couldn't be spoiled.
Yeah.
And all them twists were like, a manga would have helped in terms of understanding what it was, in terms of the beginning.
True. Yeah. It could have explained it a bit better.
Because 1 minute you're like, oh, maybe they're this. No, next episode
it's completely flipped. No, yeah, I agree with you there. It was harder to get a grasp of the world and like the world building with that kind of stuff going on. Which is what we really enjoy. But
you know what? One thing I wish they explained more about was Natsume's father finding the medallion and all that stuff.
True, yeah, it's true.
I wish they explained it. They didn't have to do a long explanation. Something we could have got in the aftermath.
A bit more depth to it, like so we could, as you say, understand it a bit more. I do agree. Yeah.
But,
that's fair. Moving on. Let's have a look. What else we got? We got Burn the Witch now, long awaited for a lot of us. Wow. What a series. I mean, Luca literally just got up to date with Bleach and stuff when this stuff started coming out, so this was kind of like
when like, these guys were reading Decadent or watching Decadence and stuff, like I was reading Bleach.
Oh man,
hence why I wasn't in any of the reactions.
And it was fair to say that we're all pretty big fans of Bleach. You know, we all rate it well. So obviously, and me and Eamon have been up to date with like all we knew about Bleach for fucking years now. So the minute Burn the Witcher stuff was getting animated, it was like
we were watching Bleach weekly.
Yeah, it's true.
And that was
good for you. That was like good few years ago. Yeah, but so I think Burn the Witch was brilliant. Obviously, only 4 episodes, but it was incredible. Like, obviously, it's movie quality because it was a movie in Japan. So that kind of makes up animation-wise.
Again, anything with Kubo again after so long, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Even though Blood Bowl was a while back, you know, thinking about it now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was thinking ages ago.
Like,
yeah. So finally get all this.
Bruno might genuinely be like my favourite character of the year. Honestly.
Yeah, I do not blame you.
Yeah, so,
yeah,
like,
I didn't even think of that category, but that's getting added now to our podcast category. But no, yeah, but Bruno was sick. Like some of the characters they introduced and stuff, I wasn't expecting it.
I love the crew with like Noah and Nini and that. Like,
so
I
good.
actually love those two partners. Like, it is just the synergy I love because they're total opposites.
Yeah.
Personalities. They work so well together.
Indeed. No, I agree. I think it was just brilliant. Like, I'm so glad like Kubo gets involved with this stuff. You know, like he makes sure like he thinks it's suitable for his like adaptation per se. But it made it so good. Like,
I got so attached to her. Like, even like just like a month later when they announced the Blu-rays, I was like, I'm ordering that, even though it's in Japanese. Because
it's the fucking like the world building they done for like a 4-chapter series. No one was expecting. Like, because in terms of how much depth they put.
We had like the manga out, and then we had the thing.
Well, they were like, 4-chapter special and like a movie special for the anime, and they were like, so everyone's expecting like a short story or something, and it was like with a potential of a continuation. But then they start in the first 4 chapters, where they start building it like it's some kind of long series, you know, with like as Lucas said, like Bruno and that whole thing.
Yeah, it's literally like a mini arc kind of thing.
Yeah,
like a very
it was like an intro, and it's like, so where's the rest? We need the rest. Obviously, it's been announced they're going to continue it in season 2, hopefully next year. Fingers crossed.
I wonder if they would have like animated the one. If they did the proper series, I wonder if they're going to do the one shot.
The one shot, yeah. The only thing that puts me a spanner in the works for me there, which I think it still could happen without a doubt, was the fact that they added the end of the one shot to the end of the anime to remind us that it's connected to Bleach. Like, but that end of the anime is very wholesome.
They would never do something like that, but either way, it's a very, very good series. Like, even though it's very short, I really loved it.
Yeah, without going to spoiler territory, there's not much we could do with only like a 3 or 4 episodes worth, you know.
Do you know what else? It was like, because it was in London as well, so it's like pretty much home.
Based in England and everything, yeah.
And the fact that it's like, even like people like if you're like Harry Potter fans and all that, there's so many themes, like in terms of the labyrinth, through the phone, like the phone. I think
Kubo said that himself. Like, like he took some like inspiration from like British themed like films and like things like that, like the wizards and stuff.
Like, outside like Chinese mythology, but like dragons and knights, they are British. You know, like,
themes,
you've had that.
I like the fact that he just wanted an excuse to draw more characters with guns, as he put it. So he just made the ones guns. It's like, okay.
That one and dragon, like the one where his head got. That was like so graphical. Yeah, that was like it's done really well, but it's very creasing. Like, you know what I mean when you look at it.
Yeah. No, definitely. What would I think it's got to be like a 9 out of 10 for me. Like, I think it's a really good series. I think I was biased there for me, but I know, like, I think it was really good, like adaptation and stuff.
I'm struggling to like actually fault it in any sense.
So that's what I mean. Like, as an adaptation, it was pretty fucking good from the original material.
And the characters they introduced. If there's more episodes, then I could give it a 10 out of 10 more.
10. Yeah. This is it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I think a 9. I think
for now, kind of thing. Until we get the full series. Exactly. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I think first impressions you'd give it like a 9, but like we still don't know what the actual like full plot is or what direction's going to go in or the ending. A lot more
if I was to rate this movie / first 3 episodes, so easy 9. Like, I love it so, like the build up so far, like as an intro arc, because that's how I look at it, right? Like an intro arc, kind of like how I look at Promised Neverland. Like Promised Neverland intro arc, 10 out of 10. Rest of the arc, 7. Like, it was okay. But like, that's how I look at Burn the Witch so far, because we don't know what the rest of it's like. So that little snippet we got, 9 out of 10, easy, potentially 10. Like,
you want to look at the score?
Are we losing again?
Well, 2 minutes in they scored.
Oh, that's sad. Oh, we move on. Arsenal depressing. We move on. Oh man. No, but what was I gonna say? No, yeah, Burn the Witch. 9 out of 10 for me. What about you boys?
Yeah, 9.
9.
I've even got the mark.
I think we can all agree on that.
I think 9's fair. I think
a solid 9.
Yeah.
Kubo's return was a success.
Yeah.
Moving on, let's talk about another series we watched, which was a very split one between our group. Many waifu wars were waged.
Come on, it's a 10 out of 10 series. I'm not giving a shit what you say.
It was Rent a Girlfriend. Fun series, really fun series to watch. It was something else.
It was like the waifu wars.
It was, yeah. It was the second coming, but no, it was good.
It was actual.
Yeah. For some, definitely. I mean, I'm the number one Mammy stan, mainly because I'm the only one.
It's kind of makes you wanted beef from the whole.
I wanted beef from the community, to be honest. No.
Okay, so we established with. I think the most frustrating thing about the anime was Kazuya.
Without a doubt, in my mind. Without a doubt.
One moment he's just I'm gonna use the word simp again, but he is a simp for like.
How dare you? You'll get banned.
I know. I can't. We won't be able to go on Twitch now.
White Knight.
White Knight, yeah. That's the other term.
Okay. White Knight, Shining Knight, whatever.
White Knight Kazuya.
That's kind of racist, but whatever.
Whatever. There's no need to bring that into this.
No need to bring the race out. But like, yeah, so like one moment, he just goes full Kazuya, and like they're like, this guy's never gonna get any better. He's just. And then it's like, the worst thing was he kept going into an endless pit of lies.
That beginning episodes was so frustrating. It was unreal.
And like I love like the whole thing like with Mizuhara and all that, but like he was giving out a lot of money. Like even when like she's like, I'm gonna buy you a Christmas present, she buys him like the shittest phone case.
Fucking phone case with a turtle on it. And it's like,
don't hate the player, hate the game.
That was meant to be some kind of like romantic pledge, and I'm like,
mate, the fact that she got it did. The fact that she got the actor to
it was just like, what one would you recommend? And he chose the one with a shitty turtle on it. It's like, what the fuck are we looking at? Like
the thing is, understand, like, this was a good moment for Kazuya, like, when he went to save her, when she fell off the boat. Like,
that was good,
that's how he ended up breaking him, like, all that shit with the phone and all that.
The turtle thing happened. Oh, sorry, the turtle thing. The swimming thing happened. Like, he jumped into the ocean and it was like, holy shit, there's no way they couldn't get together after this. This is like a clear confession. He has risked his life.
Like, the moment where she's like, because she doesn't want to get involved with clients, but like, there's a thing.
At that point, it was like, oh my god, this man has risked his life.
She was supposed to giving him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
It was like, my fucking god. My brain, man.
Like, to be fair, in terms of male character, his best mate what's his name? Is it Kiba?
Kiba, yeah.
Like, if you want a wingman, he is your guy. He was dope. The guy was honest, but at the same time, the guy hyped Kazuya up as well. Like, he did. It's kind of like you feel bad for him. He's like, you know what, you deserve her. This guy is just like going to end this pit of lies, but like at the same time, this thing with Kazuya, like 1 minute and then it's like, okay, you know what, he might be getting a bit better.
But his actual character improved. But then he'd do something stupid and be like, what the fuck was that all about? Like,
the two biggest thing with me was his relationship with Mami, and because in terms of with Mami, like, she was manipulating him like hell.
Yeah, because by the end of that first series, he basically got over that Mami shit, but then she found more dirt.
She got jealous that he's not paying attention to her anymore.
Yeah. And she
started writing and all that. And then the whole lies, they just kept going on and on, and like to the point where like Mizuhara and him like both lied to their grandmothers.
Oh man.
And in terms of Ruka, like, she was an interesting character as well. Like, I really liked her as a character.
I feel really sorry for Ruka.
I feel sorry for her.
To a huge extent.
She was.
I wish
she was
they told her.
Yeah.
Like, to like relieve her. Like, but I know she has a heart condition.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Well, there was a whole there's a whole mess anyway between like Kazuya and Mizuhara, and I feel sorry for her because it's almost like she's been pushed in the middle of all that now, and it's like, and the only one, this is the thing is right, like one or the other can get hurt, right? But then Ruka, no matter what happens, is gonna get hurt now. So it's kind of like,
that's what I mean, because he's only going out without pity. It's not even like,
yeah, it's so bad. It's like, oh my god.
She got a job in the same place to be with him.
Exactly, like, it's so mad.
What's the other ones? The redhead. What's her name? I forgot her name now.
Oh, I fucking forgot her name as well.
The other girlfriend who was a rental.
Yeah, she was only in the last couple, wasn't she? Let me have a look.
Yeah.
Mirroring? I don't know if it's a mirror or not. I don't know. I might be making up.
No, yeah, that's fine. But what have we got here? Sumi.
So yeah. Yeah, so she was interesting. She didn't last very long because obviously she came
near the end. Yeah, we were surprised by how late she come on.
She was like a wholesome character, but we didn't get enough
of her. No, we got that one date and stuff. Pretty much is the only real content we got of her.
Which is another like we don't need you involved as well with this.
No, it's true. She starts catching feelings for like all that stuff.
I think, and then the ultimate cuck at the end, where he had his opportunity to tell her.
Oh my god, the most frustrating end to a series of my life was.
I guarantee you, that moment Mizuhara would have accepted it.
Yeah, that's the point, isn't it? Like, it's so dumb.
Like, if she's not going to make the first move, you have to make the first move because she did have feelings for him. It's evident it's growing over time.
I can't believe that, boy.
That was the moment. So they end it. So everyone's thinking, okay, they're going to leave it as a cliffhanger. No, then they showed the after the
aftermath. Mate, I'm so glad they showed that aftermath because if I'd waited a year to see that, I would have been so pissed off.
But then again, they left open like this, so there's a season 2 and all that because the manga did really well in Japan as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is Kazuya in a nutshell, and for me, Mizuhara.
Yeah.
One's mommy.
That's purely for controversy, to be honest. Yeah. I hate them all equally.
They've also. The thing is, they all do have faults. Even like Ruka, she's too attached. She's way too attached. She's that's like stalking level. But then again, Kazuya did.
To be fair, she's the one I have most sympathy for out of all of them.
No, but you have to
say that she's the most attached, but she's the one I actually feel sorry for the most.
Definitely.
I have no sympathy for.
Fair enough. But what I mean is like
Mizuhara or any of them.
She's like everywhere. You know what I mean? Like
she is a bit of a stalker. Yeah.
You don't get that.
I think I like her story the most so far, but at the same time, I refuse to get too attached to a character who is inevitably going to get hurt after all this.
Yeah, 100% she's getting hurt.
And I think, if I remember right, there's going to be, from the manga, like, later down the line, I think maybe next season as well, there's going to be a 5th goal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so...
This fucking guy, man. I cannot believe... Luca,
he just needs to chill.
Luca, you see this Kazuya man, right? And you're like, how the fuck has this man got 5 girls after him? This is fucking stupid. This is like anime shit.
I'll just feel like shit, to be honest.
So.
You were like, I have no one in my life, and this guy gets everyone.
I mean, I was crying over Bleach, but I think it's honestly better than watching that.
But in some ways, the content
I'd just be crying over myself if I watched that.
I think ultimately the controversy is what made the anime really good for me. Because there's a lot of take and there's like a lot of debate around it. So
I have a couple of memes of it on my phone. So
I have a couple of memes.
I'm part of the culture.
Basically, I watch
it
like enough.
No, what was it?
You might
I'm
gonna
say like for a lot of
10
people.
out of 10 series.
Oh yeah, 10 out.
That's all I can say from the pictures. The one thing I'll say is like I think a lot of people liked it more than me, but I still enjoyed it. Like, I still enjoyed it. I've still watched Series 2, but some of the bits got a bit too annoying for me personally. I'm just not good with series like that sometimes.
Like, I know that one of the biggest ones would be like Kazuya, because obviously how...
I don't even mind him as a character, but it's just
it keeps going up and down.
I'm not as committed to his relationship with Mizuhara as some people are, because it feels forced at this point, but that's just me. Like,
shots are fired.
Like,
shots are fired.
I know. Don't worry. We all know Mami's not going to win anything, so it's fine. I'm confident enough.
Bro, I couldn't give a shit about any of it.
I haven't even representing her colours.
I have to deal with this every week at one point.
Yeah.
Every fucking
So did I, Luca.
No, it was good. I'd personally, for me, I'd rate the series same as like the other ones, basically like 7.5. But I know others are going to be higher, so I'm getting my low rating out of the way.
Disgusting.
I think I'll put it as an 8.
An 8, fair. That's fair.
I found it funny.
I'm going to give it a 9. I really enjoyed the series. So
no, that's fair enough. A lot of people really enjoyed it. I know I'm in the minority. I
know something different, than the typical.
That's
normal.
fair.
Because obviously we love like some of the rom-coms, like Waterkoi and all that stuff.
See, this is the thing is like, I feel like they were more unique than say Rent a Girlfriend. Rent a Girlfriend feels like that.
More unique. I think Rent a Girlfriend was the most controversial one. That's why I liked it.
Yeah, maybe the fucking I don't know. I think Domestic Girlfriend last year or the year before fucking caused a lot of controversy. I think like Domestic Girlfriend and that caused a lot of controversy.
Okay, so hold on. On the side note, I actually did watch this. I did watch the series.
Yeah.
I got spoiled by the manga. What happened? And it is like
the weirdest.
Domestic Girlfriend is more about ethics at this point. Yeah. It's not the same level as Rent a Girlfriend in terms of like.
Oh,
they're not your step siblings.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, in some ways, okay. So the guy can. Okay, Luca, I'll give you a quick synopsis. So basically, this dude, I think he did actually lose his virginity to she wasn't let me say when was I don't think they were married. No, okay. So at the beginning, they weren't step siblings. They were just normal people,
And then they became.
Yeah, so then, but it wasn't like out of choice. It's kind of like all of a sudden they didn't realize their parents were actually dating each other. And the next minute it's like, okay, and his teacher, funny enough, is the older sister, and he actually likes her as well.
And after my own heart.
And this, but this is where it's controversial. She's an adult.
She's an adult, and he's
and she already had a boyfriend and all that, and then it's so back and forth. Basically, the controversy was which sister does he end up with?
Both are fucked. From the beginning, we knew. So that's what I mean. I think out of controversy, that and that other series that was really fucked up. I'm not going to get into that one, but those kind of series.
I think Domestic Girlfriend is just ethically wrong.
Like unique, and then there's that.
Then there's that. That's like. It's okay. It's okay. They're not related by blood. That's what
are you doing, step bro?
It is the definition. That means the definition of Domestic Girlfriend. But that's like a whole nother shit show. We don't get into that.
Oh man, but no, Japan. No. Anyway, Rent a Girlfriend, a very good show. Recommend it highly on this channel. Moving on to one of my favourites this year. Well, me and Lou have been highly anticipating it. Jujutsu Kaisen. Well, to be fair, it's fair to say we've been highly anticipating it as manga readers, but we've all basically been highly anticipating it since Luke has been hearing it from us, Emon's been hearing it just in general from the anime community and stuff, everyone going crazy about it. And to be fair, so far it's been an A1 adaptation. I can't lie. I was really worried, obviously, because I was like, damn, they really got to kind of step it up in terms of animation for some of the fights, because obviously as a manga reader I knew some of their fights were just mad, the ones GG used to draw or GG drew and all that. But yeah, Mappa so far, I mean they're taking over the fucking anime landscape at this point.
Because actually they're adapting Attack on Titan, and then you got Chainsaw Man as well.
Coming out next year. You got Attack on Titan now,
and God knows how many more. It's a good Mappa's getting they get acknowledgement for they are the big production company. They started to become that big production company.
Yeah,
but I don't know how many staff you can spread out.
Yeah, so far it's been. Oh, and God of High School I had it, and I think so far none of them have really missed in terms of animation so far. None of them have been a massive dip, but at the same time, it's kind of as you say, how far can they take this now?
How many projects can you handle at once?
Yeah.
Obviously, you could always hire more staff and all that stuff, no problem.
Yeah.
But especially
it's
with
crazy how they got this many projects. How they got agreed. But
in some ways, it's kind of unfortunate. With the whole incident with Kyoto Animations last year and all that.
Of course, yeah.
They could have potentially. They could have potentially maybe picked up. I don't know. You can never say no, never. But
a couple of series here and there and stuff.
All the staff and everything,
Yeah.
That's another that was out. You know what? I'm surprised. I thought Period would have picked up.
I thought Period, yeah. For a longer series, I suppose maybe the pacing was too quick for them. potentially.
Yeah, although to be fair, I don't know what. I can't remember off the top of my head what other projects they're working on at the moment. So maybe
what Pierrot and stuff. Probably like. Yeah. I mean, could be potentially Bleach. We really don't know who's got that.
I think Black Clover was Pierrot as well.
Yeah, Black Clover is Pierrot. Yeah.
Boruto maybe as well. I think
Boruto is yes. Yeah. So they still massive weekly series. Yeah. So. Because that was a big thing about Bleach was like people never thought it was going to come back because Pierrot were focusing too much on these like newer series and stuff, and they had, as you say, 2 massive ongoing series. So
we just need we don't know. We just need an announcement which one's taking over Bleach.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was hoping for. But no, Jujutsu Kaisen anyway. Mappa doing brilliant so far. The fights and stuff have been A1. Like it's been a great introduction to the series. For me, the pacing is as good as I could have hoped for. Like I was hoping they wouldn't cover too much too quick, and to be honest they really haven't. They've explained stuff as well as they would in the manga. Some bits could be explained better in my opinion, but I thought that in the manga as well, to be fair. But the fights that I was more worried about, like the Gojo, Jogo and stuff like that with the Immeasurable Void, and just all the fights like Todo and stuff so far, Nanami versus Mahito, they've been done so well so far, and honestly I hope they keep them for the future, and for like if they decide to animate the whole series, I really hope they keep them.
Also, but, in terms of, even like we were talking about before we saw the first episode, even like the censorite, the censoring of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's been a lot more graphic than I thought it would be.
But yeah, I'm so glad it got that late night time slot in Japan because
like it's been
because even that doesn't guarantee that it will be like uncensored. But as you said,
I've read like I said, I'm more of the anime only at the moment, but like, I did read like the 7 chapters, and like in terms of they weren't too far off, were they?
No, they didn't shy away from barely anything, kind of thing. Even some bits they added.
It wasn't like what do you call it, like Tokyo Ghoul, where when
they decided to censor. Oh yeah. Which I thought we really would. I thought we'd get the TV version, the Blu-ray version. I was like, please don't, because we might not ever get the Blu-ray version over here of Jujutsu Kaisen if it doesn't do well.
In the UK, Blu-rays take years.
Yeah, it could be years. I agree.
Like, commercial have already, but we won't get it here till like a couple of years later.
This is it. So yeah, I'm really glad that JJK got that. And so far, as you say, it's pretty uncensored. It's like, because it's a thing with censorship, right? It's like, I'm not saying, I'm not like a big gore person, but sometimes bits just don't hit as well when it's a black screen instead of
prime example. Imagine in the latest episodes where you see where Mahito sort of impales him. Imagine if that just cut to a black screen. How it would have jumped to him headbutting him. You would not have understood like any of it.
Yeah.
So
if they had blurred out the bits or anything, like, and it's the bits of just like you see how graphic like some of Mahito's abilities are. Like this is the thing, is like they had to make it good because like Mahito's transfiguration of humans and stuff. Like, there's so much, man, and I
can't miss.
I'm gonna that transfiguration of humans was done really well.
It was. This is it. Yeah.
Like they emphasized like the horror element of that.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Thing, like they that will give you shivers. You know what I mean?
That was good. No, I agree. I think they've done, for me so far. I'm not saying it's like 10 out of 10 for me, but it's like a 10 out of 10 adaptation. I don't feel like I would not expect anyone to do like any better with it. The soundtracks have slapped. The moments where I've really been waiting for, I'm like, can they adapt that as well as the manga? Yeah, they have. I can't sing more praise for Mappa at that point. I just hope they keep putting the effort and they keep animating the series from here to come. Really. I would rate it as a series so far. Obviously, we've got 1 episode left coming on Christmas Day, apparently. But so far, I mean, from my heart, because of like how much I've been looking forward to it, it's hard not to give it a 10 out of 10, but I think I can't really yet. So I think I'm going
to be fair, there are better arcs coming up as well.
There's better arcs coming, and I just feel like it'd be kind of like a disgrace to my other 10 out of 10s that I have on anime in general. So like, as a first series so far, I think I'm going to give it still high and maybe still reactionary, but I'm going to give it a 9 so far. Like,
fair enough.
Just for how much I've been waiting for it.
I think you guys have pretty much said everything.
Apologies.
I guess the only thing I will add is that I like how Mappa have, because we're judging it as an anime, so I like how Mappa have like stuck to the theme of like Gige's or humour in
Yeah.
certain parts.
No, you're right. Yeah. Even like the bits added at the end is very he's humour, like the little anime only bits and stuff.
The only anime, yeah.
Yes. I really appreciate little details like that, even though I don't read it.
Yeah.
I do like how it's consistent in that way, in both its light and dark tones. So
it's fun though, because like, one of my in terms of like one of the funniest moments for me was like probably between Gojo and Yuji, like in terms of when he was in danger.
He's when he was getting it, they kept that. They know it so well.
More up in the plow, and it's like that actually saved me.
No, Yuji's so great.
Or even like the short with the Nanami. With Gojo and Nanami, like
my god, yeah.
He drew a picture at the end.
On the
Gojo, I love Gojo. He's such a man child at the same time.
He's fucking brilliant. I can't wait to see more of Gojo. But yeah,
as an advertisement to someone who hasn't read it, it's hard not to say that it's any lower than like a 10 because I've really enjoyed it and it has made me want to read it.
That's good to hear.
But again, like you say, it's early doors, so maybe a 9 is fair, yeah.
Fair, yeah. That's fair enough. What about you, Lou? What's your rating for the series so far?
Well, I feel like I'd probably have to agree with you because you made so much sense, and I don't want to blindly just give it a 10.
Makes sense.
And
this doesn't happen often, boys. But, I mean, I'm a mammy stan.
No, I mean, like...
Exactly.
I have to say, like... It's been my favourite manga to read this year.
Yeah, you said that on our review. Yeah.
Everything that I've seen that I know is coming, it's true. John says it's hard to give it a 10 now because then, if they do them bits well, then that's gonna make it worthy.
I think
of a 10.
Could be like it could by the end of its thing be like a top 5 series for me, and especially with an adaptation as good as it's been so far. But I just don't want to be too reactionary and be like, 10 out of 10, masterpiece, like a One Piece or something,
so biased towards the series.
I know, I can't help it. Wait till you see my ratings at the end.
To be fair, like, it's like, it has the potential to be like the next big set, like...
Yeah, I think it definitely has the potential, and if they keep animating it as well, I think it will reach the masses.
The manga's doing really well in Japan as well, so it's not like the series was like 130. Was it 133 chapters or whatever it was?
Yeah, 133 chapters.
Yeah,
133 just come out.
Now, yeah.
So it shows you that,
and the anime's done well in terms of the manga out in Japan has like tripled or something in its sales, like its best month it had. So I don't blame it because it's been such a good
really well
to advertise.
I think
advertise it 100%.
Like as much of a shit year this year's been, but like in terms of like the anime scene.
Yeah,
it's been a really good year for anime.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I fully agree.
But even manga-wise, like sales-wise, like it's done really well in the Western side of the world as well. Because I think people have more time to read it now, isn't it? Kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, what was it like? Even series like smaller series, like we haven't read it. I want to read it really bad. But the Chainsaw Man series, I think you were saying, Lou, the other day, it sold out on Amazon and shit like that.
Yeah, it's
like
sold
real
out.
Quick stuff like that, So as you say, Iman, I think I completely agree. I think it's been a great year all round.
There's a sense of appreciation. Like obviously, like even like recently, like with the whole, like Demon Slayer's broken the box office in Japan. Even in the Western world, like wherever like I know like is going to be in America, Belgium, and parts of other parts of Europe. We don't know yet about the UK, but I've watched the movie myself, personally, but like but I want to watch it in the cinema. You know what I mean?
I like
that movie. But I could. Do you know what? But the thing is, after watching the movie, I can see why it did well. It was a very
good movie. Yeah,
it was a very good movie. But it's not like a 10 out of 10 movie. Don't get me wrong.
Fair enough.
I think it does have a bit of. It can be parts of it can be a bit overrated because it's Demon Slayer. Everyone's like crazy about it. But at the same time, it did have really good things in the movie. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm really looking forward to it. I've seen people like comparing it to like what was it? I keep getting confused what one's what, but the Two Heroes, like My Heroes. And I'm like film was a fucking banger.
Yeah,
so it even compares to that.
You have Heroes Rising, which was the first one, and then you have Two Heroes.
Two Heroes, yeah.
Because Two Heroes and then Heroes Rising is like, what?
Yeah, I know. I'm always confused. But
yes, to be fair, that movie was right at the beginning in February, and I really enjoyed that movie. Like,
that was a 10 out of 10 anime movie. That was top tier.
I've watched it. I've watched it 5 times.
I've only watched it a few times. 5. I need to rewatch it. To be fair, it's so good.
I still need to watch. I do have it, but I still need to watch Weathering with You because obviously that's another very good Makoto Shinka movie. You know.
Yeah. I want to watch that. It sounds really good.
Yeah. But like, yeah, like in terms of like, because I know we're like off topic, but like, there's more for appreciation for anime in general now. I think,
of course, yeah,
it's more accepting, and the fact that, like, you know, like in the past, like for some people it might not be easy to admit like you love anime and all that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, the common consensus was it's hentai. I think that was
that was when we was in school and shit. Oh my god,
Bakugo might as well be hentai for me, to be honest.
Bakugo is like he's like the ultimate tsundere.
Yeah,
he loves you secretly, but he will shout and scream in your face if he has to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, my god.
He's like the step on me kind of guy, isn't he?
Oh yeah, with those boots as well. Like his boots are crazy.
I hate this game. Right,
those knee guards. Oh my god.
I'm gonna move on to the fucking last series because this is getting too horny now. What is it? No, right, last series I want to talk about before we start getting it. God damn it! Last series I want to talk about before we get into the last little our categories of what we want to rate. Haikyuu. So we got 4 series, did we? Did we get part 1 and 2 this year?
We were the top 2.
Yeah, we didn't get the first. Was the first part in December? Last December.
I think it was last December. It was last year. Like,
anyway,
that's when it started.
we'll talk about part 2 because part 2 is recent and it was amazing.
You know, I don't know if we have a category for like favorite arcs, but it was my favorite arc.
Favorite arc. That was solid. That's solid. That was amazing. As you say, as we said on our reviews, like best match most likely. Like
it was the best match. I think the best thing about it, because we've done so many reviews on it already, so I'm not going to go too much here. But like the whole match against Izaraki, like the best thing was the character development from both sides. From one side.
Yeah.
And even had like the side fodder characters, they had their moments as well.
Definitely, yeah. As it is with Haikyuu, they do it so well.
The way they built up this powerhouse team in Izaraki, they are a powerhouse team. You can see why.
Of course, yeah. Well, like, there was no weakness.
Karasuno had to break through their shell, kind of thing. To at the same time, that it was like the first part of the series was the whole training arc. This arc is to demonstrate how well, what they've learned, and I think ultimately we could agree, like in terms of like MVP for the game, it was Kageyama and Hinata for me. Like both,
they were incredible.
They were so influential. If they weren't in the team, they would have not won. Like hands down. Like
this is it. Both of them, like either of them, like without either of them, they would have lost that. Like Hinata as well, surprisingly, which is I would never have expected going in. The biggest reason he was MVP was because of the mental side of the game, like keeping everyone relaxed and like his thought process through stuff. Like
you never saw the whole, even like the defensive side of Hinata before at all.
So good, yeah. The receive.
It wasn't even like a fluke. He was standing there. He knew.
Nope. He'd done it a few times by the end. It was insane. And we've got it right that first time. He was full of confidence to do it again. It was just so good. I mean, for so many emotions, and it was just. And then we got the Nekoma game in the middle as well.
Yeah, this was like probably like Lou's favorite bits.
Yeah, honest to God, so good. But
you would think so. But the other stuff that happened during the series, like as much as I love Nekoma and I love Kuro, and I love Kuro and I love Kenma. Like at the end of the day, like I'm still supporting like Karasuno throughout the series.
Yeah.
No, so like seeing them like beat such a powerhouse team.
Yeah,
and seeing weird,
like the way Nekoma reacted to that win as well was interesting. Because they were like, because we have beat that team, so it almost feels like they're the weakest team they faced, really, in terms of out of the powerhouses and stuff.
It's funny because Karasuno's beat Shirato as well, and they were meant to be the favourites to win the whole competition in the nationals.
They were,
and they couldn't even qualify for nationals.
And Inarizaki was almost like basically a what would you call it? Kind of like a competitor to them, like in terms of, like they would be one of like the top ones as well.
They're one of the favourites.
They were one of the favourites.
Yeah,
and that's what it is.
And it's like, whereas like Shiratorizawa as well, as they said, was like it was skill as well, but it was like a bit of a miracle. The Inazaki, that's the thing, was like, it wasn't a miracle. They done it again, and they deserved it. They were the better team, you know?
Like,
so,
you know, as much as, like, it had, like, a few anime memes in terms of some of the animations.
Oh, like, mid-episodes was, like, in the middle of episodes, not mid, like, but, like, there was some bits that were very strange.
Overall, it was done really well for the key moments.
They saved their budgets for the right bits.
The last point was my favourite moment from that series.
To be honest, I never thought anything would, because for me, I loved that chance ball in the Alba Slam match. I never thought a point would get better than that point. I was like, that is going to be my favourite point from any sports.
You know what's fun though? We had before that final point, we had another point, didn't we, where it kept going back and forth.
That was insane as well. That was insane as well.
That one where Hinata does his receive. Yeah. He goes run backwards and gets it.
Unfortunately, they don't get the point though. That was the only bad thing.
But yeah, that one was insane. That one I was like, oh, that's competing. Yeah. And then we got that last point of the final one, and it was like, oh wow, that one made me cry a bit.
I love the Mia twins. Like, I mean, my favorite. You know, I think Asuma is gonna be like up there as my favorite character. I still think Suki is probably my number one, but Asuma is number 2 right now. Suki has like the best talk no jutsu.
He's brilliant. He's so funny.
So good at that. He actually acknowledged Hinata.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. We saw the backstory with the twins, and you know, like how Haikyuu does this thing really well, where everyone has a pair.
They have like great duos and stuff.
Kita and Aaron.
Yeah.
Even with like Nekoma's Kenma and the what's his name?
I know his name. Yeah, Buzzcut guy. Fuck, I know his name as well. But yeah, I know him.
You know, I didn't think they were the pair. I thought it was just purely Kenma and Kuro.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, they made that happen as well.
And
but the fact that everyone was watching that game as well. That I love that as well because
everyone's reactions.
You know what I mean? Everyone's reacting to it. Even like when you saw Oikawa, you knew something big was going to happen if you saw Oikawa.
So good. Yeah. And the fact they got trending from his ear.
You got Oikawa crumbs.
Oh my god! I'd never expect to see him in this series.
As we know, I'm sure people, if you're an Annie twin or you would have seen this by now.
Yeah.
There's no way. Because it's trending. So
Luca, as an anime only, right? Imagine this character in the preview, his ear got shown, and he'd become top 3 trending in Japan. Just from his ear being shown. That was how big a character, how big a fan favourite he was. And we still only got about 10 seconds of him in the actual full series, but he still got trending. But yeah, Oikawa was a goat.
The soundtrack as well, I'm going to give props to. I think it was one of my favourite soundtracks this year.
Oh yeah, so good. So good, I agree.
And the final point, the final points one, obviously is a remix version.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was beautiful.
It was done really well, and you know, again, I'm gonna say it's my favorite arc of the year.
Yeah, that's absolutely understandable. I think, as you say, it's one of, if not the best arc in Haikyuu, and for me, Haikyuu is a top 5 series, so I completely get where you're coming from. What would I rate it? Would I rate it? I feel like I can't. I feel like I would give it a 9 as well. Like with Jujutsu Kaisen, I would rate them both 9 out of 10 for me. Personally, I was thinking 8.5, but I feel like it's on the levels. It was so good.
I felt really attached to it, so I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
I think a little bit more to the 10, but not the 10.
Yeah, because it was my favorite arc. I think that's why it leans towards that. I think
that's understandable. What about you, Lou? How are you rating this one?
I'll probably rate this the same bracket that you lot have. I don't think I'd give it a 10.
But
I would probably go with Emon 9.5 because it has my favorite, probably my favorite match and 2 of my favorite episodes in it. As a series. So I think
brilliant.
I'd probably rate it a 9.5 as well.
Mm-hmm. I would give it higher, but I can't give it higher than Jujutsu Kaisen.
That's fair enough.
It's so tough. But I think it's definitely on par. I've enjoyed both of them. They're incredible. I don't know if you want to mention it, Luca, but let's talk a little bit about My Hero Part 2 that come out this year. It was the school festival arc, right, with Gentle and stuff. It got very mixed opinions earlier on in the year on the anime Twitter community. But I enjoyed it. I think a lot of us enjoyed the arc itself, kind of thing.
I think overall the animation just got a lot of criticism.
Yeah, but they
people
always do
blaming
that.
the movie.
Like, I'm not
the
being
movie for it and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not hating on like the community like some people do on the My Hero community and stuff. But Jesus Christ, man, some of the stuff I've seen.
If I'm going to be honest, I don't think I actually hated on the animation at all.
Like, oh no, this is what I mean, and it's like
I don't think I had that moment, like like where Haikyuu had that in between weird animations.
Yeah. They never have a dip, and. What was it I saw earlier? So in the PV, you know the bit where it's like Class 1B, and it's got the I forget his name. You might know Luca. The Class 1B guy is a bit crazy. He was always against 1A.
Monoma.
Him. Yeah. It's the bit where he's kind of like laughing, and people were taking that and saying it was a terrible adaptation. And I shit you not, man, it was like. It was the same. Like it was
not even an important panel. Yeah.
No, this is what I'm saying, and it still looks good.
Hey, we can't forget about the festival with the Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter.
Oh my god, that was so good. 1B should have won that. Like, yeah.
The festival arc actually has like a really strong place in my heart now. Like knowing where we are and looking back at it, I like appreciate it so much more.
It was like such a downtime for all the big times coming. Almost like
it wasn't even that long. It wasn't that much of a drag.
No, I agree. People were over dramatizing.
People just complain.
I think
I agree.
Also, but the thing is, funny enough, the song itself in the festival, that on YouTube alone, it's got 48 million views.
Jesus
Christ. That's how well that's. And this is
sold that straight up as well, yeah.
That's what I mean, and they did that so well, like because obviously we didn't have that in the manga.
It didn't have a voice to it, kind of thing.
So we know they're performing, but we don't actually see the lyrics and all that.
And they made that. They made it like into an art, and it was good. I thought it was really good, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
not to mention that despite the slight dips and everything, it had that final episode at the end,
which was very My Hero.
Fight,
of course,
10 out of 10 adaptation. The OST was banging,
yeah. I agree. I think I completely agree. I think for me that part of the series and that was probably like I'm debating like 8 or 8.5, but around that basically. I wouldn't give it like a 9, but I'll give it mainly because obviously I wouldn't rate My Hero all overall like an 8, but like that series I think was one of like because of all of the peaks and stuff. Yeah, that art specifically.
Sure, I mean it was a quiet arc. I think that's fair. Yeah.
I thought it was a fun, enjoyable.
Technically, if we're going to argue that, it could technically be seen as the weakest arc of the whole series.
Of course, yeah. Like in terms of
I think how much people see it like that because of how it was more chill. But you kind of need that because of how much you can't just have constant fights every single time. Because that's what I mean. Like it makes you appreciate the fights even more after the calm.
Yeah, because
builds the characters.
Gets you to it builds characters. It gets you attached to them. After that arc, I had so much more attachment for Jiro, and then going into Class 1A versus 1B arc, where Jiro is a big part of one of the fights for me. It did so much,
Definitely.
I think in terms of the emotional side, the whole thing with Eri was the best thing about it. Because
of course, that hit
because she was still overshadowed by Overhaul.
Yeah. She was still getting over kind of thing.
The moment she actually smiled, and the fact that Mirio was like, are you watching Midori? Are you watching Sir? Obviously, unfortunately, what happened with Sir Night Eye. You know what I mean? That was the step for Eri to recover.
Yeah. No, I agree, actually. That was a really good moment as well.
Yeah.
No, I think that's fair enough, boys. I think that's fair enough. I think it was really good art.
I think 8.5 is fair. The bias in me wants to also give it a 9.
That's
the bias in me wants to give it. But I think 8.5 is fair.
I agree. I agree with that enough. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I still love My Hero, so I can't really complain.
Yeah.
This is it. But I think that basically rounds up what we've all watched and that this year basically that we can cover. Unless you want to talk about sales.
I've got a few. So you know that Nana anime? Because I think you went on a Christmas break or whatever. So you're the one I said that it's like Among Us.
Oh yeah, you're
the one.
Yeah.
So the girl looks like your typical kind of I guess kind of like a lolly character could be. But she's so. Just to give a synopsis. there's in the world, funny like My Hero, like you have a portion of the world where people have superpowers. This one's like a lot less.
Yeah.
They've had a history even during war times where the people with mutated powers and all that, they would be dominating the world and all that. And now like they pushed, so now children with superpowers are kind of like isolated in this little island. They don't know it's like they thought it was like they get special treatment and all that. And they technically are, but it's like a whole government scheme to basically wipe them out.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's working so far, but like it's I don't know how to describe it. Like, so basically everyone has superpowers. I don't know about the teacher, but like Nana, she's a normal human.
Yeah.
But she's an assassin.
So she's planning on killing the rest of.
Yeah. This is literally My Hero meets Attack on Titan. Word bar for bar.
No, but like she's like the wholesome. Everyone loves her. She's a goody goody.
Yeah.
She's like the kawaii character. Like.
No.
And then, but that's not her true self. And then, so it's the way she actually ends up killing half that class. She does it really well because they all have superpowers, don't they?
Yeah.
So she doesn't have any, but she's manipulated in a way where she said that her powers are mind reading, but she can do it very well because she analyzes things very well.
Oh, okay.
So that's how she gets things really easily. Yeah, she's elite because of that. But like even from like the first episodes, she's like getting really attached with this one guy who's a bit of a loner. Yeah, who's kind of like he's like the type of character who gets bullied. Okay. Like no one cares about it. But like, I'm not gonna reveal his powers or anything. But like, end of the it got to the point where it looked like is she trying to become
spoiler, does she fucking get close to him and kill him? Because I want to know this. And then,
like the cliche, you see a cliff with a rope. It's like that area, that barricade's broken, so they have like a hazard rope thing. Yeah. And guess what she does? She shoves the guy off the cliff.
Oh,
and then the next day, everyone's like, "Wait, where were you?" She's like, "Oh no, I was just ill." And then
sus, bro. Called a meeting.
So all like proper gullible. But the one I found really unique was one of the characters. He can kind of time travel. There's limitations to it. He can kind of time travel back 24 hours, but like, if someone sees him when he goes back in time, he gets back to the present world. But it takes up a lot of stamina as it is.
Right. Okay.
So she's like, shit. If he goes back in time and figures it out, it was her who killed the other guy. Then obviously she's screwed. So she's like, I have to get rid of this guy. So I have to kind of. At first, she doesn't know all the weaknesses, so she does all this detective work and all this shit.
Yeah, make sure she knows the powers.
Yeah, and then eventually, she finds out like his powers restricts him to 24 hours and all that, and then she thinks, so on the present day in the morning, it was all icy on the lake, the training and all that.
Yeah.
But the day before, it was just water.
Okay.
So what she ended up doing was she was like, okay, I think I might know what happened to that kid. So she kind of like drags him to like in the middle of it's really pitch dark.
Yeah.
He doesn't realize he's on like near a lake area.
Okay. Yeah.
And then so she's like, okay, can he go back in time? And then technically he went back in time, but he's frozen inside the lake.
Oh my god!
like shit like that. It's like mind blowing. Yeah. But the one character, funny enough, plot armor, he's invincible. He can't die. She didn't know that. She even set up building a light.
Oh my god!
And somehow it's alive. The guy can take poison. He can, it still hurts him, but he's immortal. So she's like, but like he's like the super detective as well. So he's like sus of her all the time. This is what I mean by Among Us. Like he's always sus on her. Sus. Like, but I think what I like about it was how she ends up killing half those characters because
it's pretty creative, or like pretty like wow.
Yeah. Creative, man. Yeah, exactly. She's just a normal human, but
her
is it
an anime only? Do you know? Or does it actually have like? Is it based off a manga or like a visual novel?
I actually don't know.
Yeah,
I never.
That interests me greatly.
She's what Deku could have been if Deku did get.
If Deku had character, then yeah.
If Deku decided not to have powers and wanted to kill heroes. But yes.
So I don't know if it could work in My Heroverse because people are a bit more smarter than
he's clearly.
She's like the student council. She's like the president or whatever, like the classroom.
If Aizawa was there, this shit would not have gone down.
It was fun though because like it's the fact that I just love how people are so convinced she can read minds. It's just she just guesses things really well.
No one's sort of saying like, "Oh, that's pretty sus."
Yeah, that's what I mean by mangas. But very, very. You know what? It's underrated. So give it a go for anyone hasn't seen it. I see the English name is like Useless Nana. That's how they.
Okay, got ya. Useless.
I only know by like the Japanese names and all that. But, but that's
enough.
a very and one more thing. Like I'm not gonna go too much into it, but like obviously Digimon came back as well, didn't it?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I feel bad that I need to go back to watching it because I started watching it.
Yeah,
but
it
like
had a bit of a break in that, didn't it?
Yeah, they've gone back with the original crew, but like alternative story of how they all met, because they technically made it so like they could go. So like they had at the beginning they would go back and forth, but like they go.
That was a mad beginning.
Yeah. They made it so like it's kind of like like how in the Digimon movie they go into the internet itself.
Yeah.
Somehow it is like that, but like whatever they do in the digital world will affect the real world. And like one of the biggest things was like they had like essentially like all the electricity cut out, or they had it so like the trains went like bullet speed, like it kept going around, and then like it could be hazardous.
Yeah, I remember watching that now. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember like one of the first 2 episodes.
That was one of the first episodes. Yeah.
The fact that they even teased Omnimon, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That was out of nowhere.
That was so early as well.
Like, that's what I mean. They could just digivolve to the champion level.
Yeah, straight
at
away.
That point. But they teased the Omnimon thing because of the Digimon they fought was kind of like similar to how they fought against
Diaboromon. Yeah, I fucking love that Digimon. Yeah, I think
the whole
great.
Even though we got like the shit dub, I still love that movie.
We love that movie, yeah. Soundtrack still slaps.
Oh yeah, anything by Paul Gordon, all that. He made bangers.
He did make bangers. You're right.
Yeah, there's plenty of other animes, but I think in terms of the main ones, we pretty much got those ones.
Yeah, the main ones we've covered and stuff, and ones we've really enjoyed this year.
But technically, we've only just started.
Yeah, winter animes are a bit, I'd say, too far ahead. We might put them in some of the categories, but yeah, let's move on to our votings for the year. So I come up with a few little like categories and stuff. Just kind of off the top of my head before we started.
Go on.
But I'm gonna start with. I don't know whether to put favourite fight or favourite fights to avoid spoilers, but like it's basically our favourite kind of clash of this year, kind of thing, from all the animated stuff we've watched. I think so far, because of how astounded I am, it's still like potentially Gojo v Jogo for me, or like Jujutsu Kaisen in general as a series. Like I think so far has been really good fights. But God of High School had really sick fights as well, animation wise. It depends on how you look at it, I suppose. Yeah. I think JJK is kind of just a bit of a thing for me because I didn't know how they'd adapt it, and then they've adapted it really fucking well. But yeah, and say again.
Are we doing like one each, or are you doing all of them yourself first?
Oh no! I was just saying like one each. So I think like my favourite like fights from a series was like I think Jujutsu Kaisen gets my favourite fight of the year basically.
Fair.
I'm trying to think of like.
I know one straight away from a movie.
Yeah.
That was from the My Hero movie.
Okay, yeah.
That fight was probably
this year?
fight. Yeah, because we watched it in February, didn't we?
Oh, that's so hard.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's so hard now.
Are we counting the movie or?
Yeah, we counted that.
That's undisputed. Yeah.
That fight was amazing. Like I have to give that as my favourite fight. But if you're talking about anime series, I think I'm gonna have to go back. That was just hands down fuck it. I'm going My Hero for that then. I didn't. I thought it was last year. I'm so done. Yeah. No, you included a lot of things, so that's why I have to put that on then.
Yeah, I think
I'll take one for the team and say JJK.
Man, I'm sorry, that fight is just 10 out. That was like 11 out of 10.
I just lost so much respect for you. It's unbelievable.
Sorry, Lou. Just not.
But we've got to have other people's viewpoints. It's fine.
Not when there's an 11 out of 10 fight of the year.
Yeah, like
we can
there's a fight and then there's a fight.
I agree. Yeah. But no.
To be fair, it would go like with Gojo or Go-Go. Like you know, like the
that
animation
fight was insane as well. Yeah,
it was a very quick fight, wasn't it?
Those two are on a tier of their own for me this year. Gojo v Jogo and obviously the My Hero fight. Those two fights, oh my goodness, incredible.
If it's series only, I'm actually even tempted to give it to Burn the Witch. To be honest,
I was gonna say Burn. I was gonna mention when we were talking about the series. Some of them fights and clashes were so good, Bruno.
Against Cinderella,
like Bruno
animation and all that, like
I have not been as hyped watching, apart from the My Hero movie. Aside from that, I've not been as hyped as when I was when Bruno appeared.
When he done that, when he got his dragon out. That was so cool.
I think,
that's so cool.
I love, you know how they did the combination where he was spray painting the sky, and then they did the cage thing, didn't they? Like when they did that cloak and everything. That was probably one of my favorite moves to watch.
I agree fully. So yeah, we're going with 3 My Heroes and a JJK, right?
Yeah,
I'd say for that anime fights. Incredible.
I'm
then
stuck with it now. Yeah, go.
My next category, favourite opening of the year. Now, I'm still debating this in my head, I can't lie to you. Straight away, again, I'm going to sound like the biggest stan, but JJK's already up there for me right now.
So I'm going to throw a couple, but I know which one my one is. I said Haiku, Over the Top, opening one. So good.
So good. So good. I agree.
JJK, love the animation.
The opening. Yeah.
Had one of the best animations, I'll say.
Yeah.
Sword Art Online, Underworld.
Oh. Yeah, I've heard good things.
Lisa and all that does so well, and Amir with Fire Force. But I think for me it was Black Clover opening 10 because that was right at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. I've heard really good things. Black Clover openings apparently slap.
Black Clover is very consistent.
Yeah,
One Piece opening kind of bangs as well.
Yeah, it does. Dreaming on. This is the one I'm stuck with right now. JJK and that. JJK kind of put me onto Eve, like the artist. And I have been listening to so much Eve now, and I think they're actually sick. But I do like the opening.
Would you like brand new series than JJK?
Okay, yeah, definitely, yeah. But One Piece slapped. I really enjoyed that. I know that was a bit of a not controversial one, but kind of split opinions. But I really enjoyed it for the Wano arc and stuff.
I think with One Piece especially, it's because of the Wano arc. It's been so animated really well.
So well, yeah. No, I agree. I think there's been a lot of good. I know we was going to speak about it, but the God of High School openings and stuff had split opinions, but we kind of banged. We kind of liked it quite a bit.
I was going to say that's actually been my personal favourite of the year.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Me and Lou in agreement there. Yeah.
Just because I think it's a bit different. It's just a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Fair
it's
enough.
Okay, boys. I'm only a little bit disgusted with that opinion, but it's fine.
I like my endings. Don't worry.
You can't forget Rent a Girlfriend opening. That one actually was.
But
Rent a Girlfriend, yeah.
In terms of God of High School,
yeah.
In terms of God of High School, before we started this podcast, I looked at the opening and the ending, and I actually preferred the ending to God of High School than I did the actual
ending's very good. Yeah.
So
okay. That's where we differ because I prefer the opening.
I was going to say because I think the opening's very different, but the ending's very kind of not standard, but very thing. But it's a very good ending. I agree. I think it's very good as well. But it's not as unique as the opening, which I agree. I think it's good. What was I going to say? Oh,
are we doing endings as well?
Yeah. I will say so before I finish. I'm saying JJK, right? But
damn it.
I'm going to stick with it.
To check.
That's one of my two.
No. It came out here, didn't it? Yeah, it did.
But
mine's going to be Out Baby, My Hero.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That is a great ending. I agree.
JJK animation-wise as well, that was so good.
For me, JJK, I did not expect that ending, and oh my god, I still listen to it now every fucking day. It's such a good ending, and I feel like it's one of them ones that's kind of like the Blood Blockade Battlefront one, where it's gonna survive the test of time in terms of it's gonna be on those compilations. Everyone loves it. It's gonna be one of them ones that people edit and stuff.
The top 100, top 10,
yeah,
whatever.
It's just going to be how do I put a massive thing in the community now, I feel.
He has definitely cemented it, so I will agree with that.
That's what, when I saw it for the first time, I was like, oh my god, I want one of these for every series.
I want
everyone is on fleek.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I just thought it was such a fun ending, and I mean, when I heard it, I was like, this isn't what I expected, and I watched it and I was like, holy shit, I was like, this is so fucking sick, And
I think more mad how people made other anime versions, like the Bleach.
That's what I'm saying.
That.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why it's gonna be such a thing because people will be editing it for fucking ages now. You know, like because it's gonna be one of the ones that's kind of cemented now, and I love it. I think it's brilliant. For me, it's like an 11 out of 10 ending. Like easily on my ending of the year, and there's been a lot of good endings. You've got Attack on Titan. You've got, as you said, God of High School. I think they're all brilliant, but Jujutsu Kaisen just far and beyond for me this year. Anyway.
I agree. Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah.
Same with that. What about you, Lou? What's your ending of the year? What have you picked?
So I've got two. I really like Jujutsu Kaisen just because I like the fact that it's a bit jazzy.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like the actual genre is quite jazzy. With like the trumpets and stuff like that.
Trumpet.
But the other one that I don't know if anyone's going to mention is Haikyuu, the ending.
Haikyuu's ending is very good. Yeah.
So I like them two. JJK probably more because it's not as generic. But in terms of endings, they're my two favourites definitely.
Fair
and
enough.
They're the two most recent.
Yeah.
As well.
But yeah, that's fair enough.
And Attack on Titan ending. Although you've only
got 3 in your top 1 then.
They're my top 3.
No, yeah, fair enough.
Top one is probably JJK, but I was just saying.
It is. 11 out of 10. No, yeah, they're all brilliant. There's been so many good ones. If that one hadn't come out of this year, it generally would have been tough for me. But that one just destroyed it, as I said. But next one, which I just come up with in my head, is what is your favorite animation of the year? So your favorite thing from like favorite animation from a series. Who do you think done the best job from a studio? Like first thing that pops up.
It has to be I'm gonna say it has to be Mappa.
Mappa was incredible. My one personally, just because I got it thing, even though I feel like I've got to give it to Mappa because of the fact of, like, as I said before, how 10 out of 10 the adaptation is, right?
Yeah.
But I love Studio Colorado, man. Like, Colorado.
I know where you're going.
Yeah, Burn the Witch and that. Like, oh my god. I just feel like I've got to give an award to Burn the Witch. But yeah, like.
Burn the Witch felt more wholesome to me as an animation.
No, definitely, yeah.
I felt I was in London.
I was in London. I was there, bro. I was immersed. No.
Big Ben. Been there. Have you seen it?
As much as, like, I'd want it to be longer, but then I suppose if you count the My Hero movie, again, it's Bones. But then at the same time, I don't know, the Burn the Witch one, like, as Lucas said, part of it, the impact stuff, was how smooth some of the animation was for the transformations and stuff. So, for me, that was probably, like, my favourite one of the year. Because to me, not My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen and Burn the Witch were both kind of like 10 out of 10 adaptations for me, in terms of like adaptations from their original material. That was just me. What about you, Eamon? What was your favourite animation, do you think, of this year?
I have to give it to Mappa overall, I think, because of the projects they've taken on.
And they did so well with them.
I really enjoyed. I did really enjoy that.
Yeah.
I think if there's any other ones like that really stood out for me.
I'm trying to think. Like, I'm not sure how good. Like, because obviously I don't watch Black Clover or Boruto. I don't know how good the animation for that period.
Have to be up there as well because Black Clover.
It got a lot of stick at one point, but I know this year there hasn't. It's been more like positive, you know. So
yeah, I think the thing is, in terms of like, Luca's gonna get to that bit in the arc soon, but like, honestly, the animation for those fights. Like, I think Black Clover's done. Yeah, Black Clover's animation-wise have done so well, even like recent arcs. So I might. I know you questioned me if I should say Harry or not. Honestly, Black Clover did really well consistently, considering it's a weekly anime as well.
Yeah.
You've got Boruto.
Even Toei for how good they've done One Piece.
Toei for Wano
is mad.
Surely that is like.
I was gonna say them at the end as like an honorary. Mention,
yeah, definitely.
You know what? I'll say Period for Black Clover for this year.
Clover, but fair enough. Yeah,
Mappa's there as well for me. So
yeah, Mappa for how much they've taken on, how like it doesn't, as we said, like doesn't look like a slacking at all. All the series so far have been animation-wise, at least, a good series, if you know what I mean. Anyway, what about you, Lou? What's been your favourite like visual anime of the year? I guess.
I think. Well, I feel bad for saying it now because I was going to say I think you got. Both of them in terms of, I think, Mappa and I think Studio Colorado or
for
Burn the Witch.
Mm-hmm.
But I think actually I think, because I know Luca might have said it, but I actually think Toei maybe, because like they've been able to do this animation for One Piece for the whole year. It's not been
and it looks like it's
a
going to
4
continue
episode,
as well,
and it's going to continue all the way through Wano.
Which is crazy.
Like,
and I think it deserves it because it's such a good. Obviously, it was probably planned by them, but it's such a good comeback story for all the criticism it got for through like Whole Cake and stuff. Even though Whole Cake's animation, in my opinion, was still very good, but some of the lows were quite low. But then they showed why in Wano in terms of like it's almost like a movie quality animation every episode. It's so
exactly. This is it. Is that like
so unique?
Yeah. The fact that there's how much effort, that like they put some heart into it. So no, it's very cool.
Yeah, I think that one probably. I think. Just because full year they've been able to do it.
It's so hard to judge because they're all equally had like their own really good moments.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Can't like say what was the best.
Definitely, because there's different reasons, isn't it? This is the thing. But exactly. Just our personal faves, I guess. But what about you, Luca? What's your personal favorite for the year? In your opinion?
So just, I mean, you guys have already said everything that this.
I know. Yeah.
I guess just in order to spread the love, Lewis has said Toei, you've said. Emon has said Mappa, you've said Colorado. So I'll give it to Bones.
Bones, for the movie.
Yeah. Well done.
I can't criticise that. That fight was amazing and just Bones killed it in the anime as well. Like the anime part we got this year and the movie, they always kill it, man. I wouldn't be surprised if
I feel like the only thing I feel with movies is that you expect good animations.
They should, and they killed it. I wouldn't be surprised if we're having this conversation again next year and it'll be like Bones up there again, and Demon Slayer, of course, for UFO Table.
Because with UFO, the thing is UFO Table, especially like with the Fate series.
Oh yeah,
one of my favorites. Like with Unlimited Blade Works was like probably my favorite animation I've seen from anime. For me. It's got unlimited budget works for a reason, like.
Yeah.
Like even like Demon Slayer, like when I watched it, like very shit quality of it, like it's still good. Like you can see
it. Good,
yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
When we get that Blu-ray quality, beautiful.
Oh, give me that Blu-ray. Give me a 4K.
Give me a 4K. No, I'm looking forward to it. Sure, there's going to be plenty of good animation next year. Fingers crossed, Bleach, but probably 2022. Anyway, I think I'm going to move on to our personal favourite animes of the year now. So, I think, unless it's not obvious enough, I think for me, I might as well just say, obviously, Jujutsu Kaisen. It's probably been my favourite anime of the year. For how long it's been, for how much anticipation I had for it, and how much it really fulfilled and went beyond those even high expectations. I think Mappa have done such a good job, and I think overall it's a 10 out of 10 adaptation. And it's just been brilliant for anime onlys and manga readers just as much, So for me it's Jujutsu Kaisen. What about you boys? What we think?
I'm gonna go next just because mine's Jujutsu Kaisen as well. So I thought I'd just get out of the way. I think that it was the one that and Attack on Titan. I was most nervous to see what it was actually gonna be like.
Mappa have done bits.
Especially, exactly, because even like when you heard that Mappa were getting Attack on Titan, you're like, because of how much everyone loved Wit and how like,
Well,
even when you're watching it now, people are like, it's not the same.
No,
it's not Wit they're doing it.
Yeah, it could have been the most 10 out of 10 adaptation, right? And I still would have missed Wit because of how much Wit done for the series. But yes, Mappa so far has done well in my opinion. I know it's been split, but like in my opinion, they're doing well so far.
I think Jujutsu Kaisen is like probably one of my favorite series, like in terms of manga and the anime. Like this year, I think it's just been ridiculous. Like they've had like an amazing year for the whole series all round.
Yeah, it's been definitely like a game-changing year for them. Like in terms of how big popularity the series has got.
Because like for manga readers, you've had the biggest arc they've had so far, which has been like.
Yeah, they chose the right time to put the anime in like the right year. I mean, because people now get up to date with it. Is now like they're in the midst of all this madness.
So like we've had the arc now, which is like even competing. Like it is on a content level with like the war in Wano and My Hero. Like in terms of war, like it's just as good as them, if not better. And then you've had the anime as well, which has been amazing.
Such a good adaptation so far. What were you thinking, Eamon? What's your favourite anime of this year?
So I'm going to be a bit different because I think I go for like usually most of the time it would be like the typical like shonen like animes like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think for me I'm going to go with Rent a Girlfriend because of how
I got a lot of love this series. This year.
Think because of waifu wars, of course, but like no, I think because like it's a different perspective when I was watching it, so I think that's why I enjoyed it the most. But to be fair, if Burn the Witch had more episodes, that would have been number one.
I agree. Yeah, that was the thing. That was the one thing holding it back for me. Obviously, with how short it was in general. Yeah, I agree.
JJK would be up there for me as well. I think, but then I would also want to argue a point for Haikyuu because Haikyuu was
so good. Yeah. JJK wasn't as clear as like other ones for me. I've just been thinking about this for a long time. I think
fair enough. To be fair, I don't blame you for JJK because as a new entry, if you're doing purely new entries, it's up there.
Up there. Yeah, that's fair enough.
For me, Run and Go from because it's completely different from my usual shonen type of anime.
And you got so invested in it.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. What about you, Luca? What was your favourite anime of this year?
Well, based on what you guys have literally just said, this might be unpopular, but I am actually going to say Burn the Witch.
Burn the Witch, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, like, just thinking about it, like, from start to finish, I know it was so short, but, like, just ridiculous.
And I think, like,
in terms of enjoyment, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it hit on all of them, and I'm guessing, like me as well. None of us really expected it to have. I don't know how to put it, like such deep content for what it was. Like everyone come out as like only 4 episodes, but now it's built this whole kind of interesting world that we don't know about yet.
They've teased it to the point like it's made you invested.
Yeah.
I think it was definitely helped also by the fact that I watched it and read it having just finished Bleach.
So you was on that high. Yeah.
And like binge and like. But thinking back now, which is why this decision, is difficult. Thinking back now, I still think, in terms of, just enjoyment, it was the best.
Yeah.
That
is a fair one.
I did say that as well. Like in terms of like, if it had more episodes, it would have been number one for me.
Definitely, I fully agree. Like I feel like for me, ratings wise, this is what I mean. It was tough for me. I thought about it was because I think like JJK, Haikyuu, and Burn the Witch, all 9 out of 10 series for me in terms of like up there. Like for me, they're the 3 best series this year. For me personally, they were so good. But yeah, I think JJK just kind of takes the biscuit a little bit. But so yeah, JJK. What did you favourite on? You said Rent a Girlfriend and Burn the Witch. I think that's a pretty fair summary of how good anime's been this year. Really enjoyed it. But yeah. Let us know your favourite anime in the description below. We'll definitely be doing more reviews and stuff of different series and keeping you up to date with the latest news of these series in the coming year. So if you've enjoyed this podcast, please consider subscribing. We'll be trying to do this every week, come January at least. Might take a little break now for the holidays and stuff, but hopefully we'll be able to keep pumping out content for you. But if you enjoyed it, consider subscribing, drop us a like, and let us know what your favourite anime of the year was. If we've missed out on, say, a hidden gem or something, let us know. We'd love to check it out and do a video on it. So yeah, with that all being said, we hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.
Merry Christmas.